Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new season of the Purposeful Life Show with your host, Adrian Starks. I'm excited to share some new updates of the show with you, starting with a new look, sound, and energy, as well as a variety of guests coming aboard with intriguing topics of conversation. I hope you enjoy the new level of energy that will be brought to the show. Thank you for all of your support since the very beginning in 2019. Wow, it's been 3 years already? Because of you, the Purposeful Life Show is now in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, and we aim to get it into the top 1%. Continue listening to the show and share it with others. You can also now listen to the show on my Facebook page at Adrian Starks, where you can comment in real time and communicate with me about your aha moments. Thank you again for all of your support, and let's make this one hell of a year and be purposeful about doing that. Wishing you all much love and success. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. But failure is not personal. It's only situational. Because as a human being on this planet, you need to fail. You need to make mistakes so that you can learn, grow, and to achieve more things for yourself and for the planet.
Welcome to the Purposeful Life Show on the Connect Now podcast with your host, Adrian Starks. If you're looking for the ideas that could be your breakthrough for change in your business, career, or personal life, then this podcast is for you. Join Adrian as he speaks on topics of personal and professional development for the person behind the business, and interviews a variety of entrepreneurs, business owners, and thought leaders to reveal their ideas and solutions to success and its challenges. Subscribe to the show and leave us a review. It's time to connect, learn, and grow.
Well, hello and welcome back to the Purposeful Life Show on the Connect Now podcast with your host, Adrian Starks, and let's get this going again. Before we get started today, make sure you go ahead and download this podcast into your favorite podcast platform, subscribe to the show, and leave us a review. We would love to know how we are doing. This has been a fantastic 2 weeks. We have had a couple guests on so far. One's name is Jerry Fu, and the other's name is Michelle Shepard. We went from talking about leadership and conflict to talking about how successful lifestyle, eating healthier, living healthier, will actually help to improve your success performances. I'm excited to share with you another guest that will be coming on next week, and she will be talking about how to be the nucleus in your life and how feelings matter in business. Ooh, that was a very blazing episode right there, and I know you're going to find her quite the person who does not sugarcoat things. That's a little hint for you right there. So today it's just going to be me. I want to keep this simple and give you a quick message about the power of being a human. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I had a post a couple of days ago on social media about being human, and I've gotten some really good responses to it, so I wanted to elaborate on it a little bit further. Currently, we're facing a time of change with society and how we socialize with people. As we get ready to get back into the work and to see people in person, you're going to feel a bit strange. You're going to be out of the loop on some things, and you're going to feel like you don't know enough or that you should know enough. And I want to tell you that you are human, to allow yourself to experience things as they are and to take it for what it is. Remember this, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail, but failure is not personal. It's only situational. Because as a human being on this planet, you need to fail. You need to make mistakes so that you can learn, grow, and to achieve more things for yourself and for the planet. There's 3 things that I want you to realize that you're here for on this planet. One is to learn. So how do we learn? Well, we learn by making mistakes. We learn by not getting it right the first time. So you're going back to work now. You're working with people. There are going to be a lot of things you're not going to get right. And don't let anybody make you feel bad about that. The second thing is that you're on this planet to grow. And how do we grow? Well, we grow by learning from our mistakes. We don't just sit there and have a self-pity party and whine and revile about what didn't go right or why it went wrong and pointing fingers. We accept the responsibility for the things as they are. We take that experience and we use it as an advantage point. We literally grow forward. We take what we have learned and we use it to our advantage to move into the next challenge. Because you're never going to be exempt from challenges. As long as you're living, you're going to be challenged. You can go anywhere and hide, and trust me, challenge will find you and it will challenge you to come out. The third thing you're here to do on this planet is to fully express yourself. Now, I have learned from a lot of philosophers, a lot of teachers, a lot of professors on the elements of human choice, trust, evolution, on the elements of change. One person that really inspired me was Bruce Lee. Many of you know him as the martial artist, the wah and jumping all over the place and doing his fancy kicks and his amazing punches that seem to be faster than lightning. One thing that people fail to realize about Bruce Lee is that he majored in philosophy. This man was big on learning about how the mind worked and how we were able to trust ourselves to let that mind guide us to explore and to accomplish the greatest of our goals. Bruce Lee talked about expressing yourself. And he expressed himself in this way. He went against the norm of what martial artists typically wore. And this explains the shirt that he didn't wear, or it seemed to be missing all the time that he was fighting. He also didn't wear a belt. Of course, he was a master at what he was doing, but he didn't need to wear a black belt or a red belt or any type of belt to exemplify his excellence. Now, on the contrary to this, I'm not saying that if you're in a dojo, meaning a school, you walk in and tell your master or your teacher that you don't need to wear a belt because Adrian said so. Nope. Not saying that. You might get flipped around on the mat if you do that. Get that old school discipline by those martial arts instructors. What I'm saying is that Bruce Lee was able to express himself through what he had learned over time. And he trusted himself enough to know that it was okay to be different. It was okay to be an outlier, as Malcolm Gladwell talks about in his book. It was okay to stand away from the crowd to hear his own voice. That was expressing himself. I want you to express yourself more in confidence, to walk forward in courage. From time to time, you'll hear me talk about champion up. And there is my own philosophy behind that. A champion is not what you think it is. It never was. A champion is a warrior, an advocate, or a defender of a particular cause. This cause can be what you want to experience in your reality, meaning your life. A champion is a 13th century word. It derives way back, far beyond the trophies, the medals, and the belts that now exemplify champions. Not to take anything away from those current champions, but to only put emphasis on the fact that champion does not belong only to the athlete or the winning contestant. It never did. So back to being a human again. Expressing yourself this week. Not being afraid to make mistakes. Not being afraid to not know it all. Not being afraid to say no, set boundaries, and to grow forward into better realities for yourself. Expressing who you truly are. That's what it means to be a human being here on this planet. This is brought up today because I will often talk about success, challenges, changes, business, entrepreneurship, but all these things come right back to being a human being. And I want to remind you that at the end of the day, no one can know enough. In the words of the great Greek philosopher Socrates, and I have this guy tattooed on my forearm for a reason, he said that he knows nothing. Every encounter he had, there was a question behind it. He questioned people. So what does this all mean for you? This means that right now, you're in a place in your life where you may not want to be or you feel like you can go further. Give yourself some grace. Be patient with yourself. Take each day one at a time. You can only be one place at once. Remember that you are a human and that you are here to do three things. One is to learn, the other is to grow, and the third is to fully express yourself however you choose. And what's in between all those steps is what we call human experiences. Things that you will not be able to predict. Changes that will come about that are unexpected. Challenges that seem to be far from resolving. Think about the word challenge, and inside that word is change. You can be a champion of your own changes every single week if you're willing to walk with courage to take on your challenges and to fully believe in what you are capable of doing on this powerful, abundant, and creative planet. You are a part of this great system we call life, called success, called experiences, and you need to be present. Remind yourself that you're not a computer, you're not a robot, you're a person. And if anyone tries to take that away from you, take a step back and tell yourself that you know your worth and that you know what you're capable of. Self-talk is the best talk. Remember that. Go forward in your week, have confidence, and know that you're getting better by the day. Now, let's have you go out there and make that change.
Thank you for listening to the Purposeful Life Show on the Connect Now podcast with your host, Adrian Starks. Subscribe to the show and connect with us on Facebook and Instagram. Learn more about us by visiting our website at cnbn.ca. Go to connectnowpodcast.com to be inspired by more life-changing content. Let's connect, learn, and grow.